history, Red Sox-Yankees is always a big deal. First of at least 18 between the nation and the empire. Bottom four, Yankees 2-1, 2-on-1 out. Jabba Chamberlain, ground ball back from Nick Green, and throw to second, pulled Robinson Cano off the bag, and the throw to first not in time. Next batter, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Chamberlain gets him into the 4-6-3 double play. 5 1/3, 9 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 4 walks, 2 Ks. Top 7, game tied at 2. Mark Teixeira, batting just a .194 career at Fenway. Lowest average in any park, but he makes the blooper reel off Hideki Okajima. Derek Jeter scores. Yankees up 3-2. We go top 9, 4-2, bases loaded, no outs. Cano up, and Javier Lopez. How about a little 4-2-3 action, and the Red Sox out of the jam. We go bottom 9. Yanks 1 out from ending it, and they got Mariano Rivera on the mound, and Jason Bay orders taters. His 4th of the season, ties the game at 4. That's the toughest spot in the park to get it out, and he got it out. You know, they asked Rivera to get 4 outs for the first time this season. He was trying to will it. He couldn't get it done. Top 10, 2 on, 2 outs. Jonathan Papelbon gets Teixeira. He's fired up. And then bottom 11, Kevin Youkilis. His mind on a home run and a home run on his mind. Damaso Marte. Walk off this way. His 5th. The Red Sox win at 5-4. They've won 8 straight.
That wasn't the only big division series this weekend. Cubs and Cardinals at it again in St. Louis. Cubs took 2 out of 3 last weekend. Alfonso Soriano batting 3rd for the first time in 2 years. Top 4. He bloops one. That's Skip Schumacher. He plays second base, or if need be, he plays right field. Incredible play for the second baseman. Soriano 1 for 4 with a double. He's got an 11-game hit streak. Go to the 7th. Schumacher goes to left. Joe Thurston from 3rd to second base, and Brian Barden to 3rd. Bases loaded, no outs. Cubs down 3-1. Micah Hoffpower pops it up. Schumacher, oh boy, he made the tough catch. Can't make the easy one. Mike Fontenot scores. Cardinals up 3-2. Cubs will tack on another to tie it at 3. Bottom 8 now, game tied at 3. Albert Pujols on second. He got a base hit and then stole second. Ryan Ludwig with a base hit. Pujols comes in to score. Ludwig's 19th RBI of the year. Ryan Franklin with his 5th save and 5 chances. And the Cards have now won 8 straight at home.
Best story in baseball may be Royals pitcher Zach Greinke. Google to read about his past. His present, 3-0 without allowing a run. No starting pitcher in modern Major League history has began a season by winning each of his first 4 appearances without allowing a run. Gets Miguel Cabrera in the first, scoreless inning streak, 35. Josh Anderson, double play here, scoreless inning streak, 36. We go top 3, he's got a 3-0 lead. Placido Polanco lines to Mark Teahen, scoreless inning streak at 37. Top 4, how about a little heat for Cabrera? Oh, good game to watch there. Scoreless inning streak is now 38. And how did it come to an end? Well, in the weirdest of ways. Tigers with a runner on second, top 5. Anderson lines out to Coco Crisp. Gerald Laird, who doubled. He tanks from second. Crisp to Mike Aviles on the relay, and Aviles' throw hit Laird on the foot. Greinke's throw to the plate. Miguel Olivo can't hold on. Laird charged Laird scores. The error charged to Aviles. Greinke's streak comes to an end at 38. In the defending World Series champion Phillies, whose starters have the worst ERA in the bigs at 7.18. Brett Myers in trouble. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Phillies down 3. Jimmy Rollins. I don't know if that's a top play nominee, but it should be. Phillies were down 3 because Dan Uggla, 3-run shot coming out of that slump, but Rollins, something else.
He'll take it off the chest if he has to.
Yeah, absolutely. He's fun to watch, and he's funny. 9th inning, Matt Lindstrom. He's the closer, but he's not caffeinated. Pinch hitter Matt Stair singles. Jathan Worth scores. It's 3-1. And now the bases loaded, 2 outs. Lindstrom walks Rollins. It's 3-2. He gave up 4 hits and 3 walks in 2/3. Shane Victorino here said afterwards he was hoping not to take a rib shot. On the 4th pitch of the at-bat, how about this shot? Oh, it's the power of poi. His only other big league grand slam, you remember that, came off CC Sabathia in the playoffs last season. Lindstrom's ERA goes from 150 to 1080. Oh,
He's in high definition.
Oh, they come back to win the Phillies 7-3.
Nationals and Mets from New York. Mets trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. Johan Santana, .46 ERA in 3 starts, leads the National League. Nick Johnson, he was impressed. Ryan Zimmerman got him. Elijah Dukes, may I help you? No thanks, I'm just looking. Then he gets Jesus Flores swinging in the second. Santana struck out 6 of the first 7 batters he faced. Adam Dunn, the only man, got to him. He got a single. Top 6, 2-1 Mets, 2 on, 2 out. Santana gets Flores to pop out. David Wright will handle this. Gets out of the jam. Not a strikeout, but he'll take the put out. 6 innings of work. Just 1 earned run, 10 strikeouts for Santana. Came down to the bullpen for the Mets. It always does. But that's why they got Francisco Rodriguez. Mets up 1. K-Rod against Anderson Hernandez. He got that. The Mets snapped that 4-game losing streak. They win despite stranding 13 runners and going 2 for 18 with runners in scoring position.
First and last in the NL West, Dodgers at Colorado. First inning, Manny Ramirez living vicariously through himself. Rafael Furcal comes around from second to score. Dodgers up 1-0. We go bottom 8. It's 5-3 LA. Clint Barmas pinch hitting against Mr. Koo. 2-run homer. His second of the season, and this game is tied. We go top 9. Runner on second for Brad Osmus. It's Manny Corpus. Singles to left. James Loney coming around from second. And the Dodgers take a 6-5 lead. We go bottom 9. Jonathan Broxton. Runners on first and second. Chris Iannetta. A, B, C. Always be closing. Broxton 6 for 6 in save ops this season. Dodgers win at 6-5. They won 10 of their last 12. They're 11-3 in the NL West.
Back home after a 7-3 road trip, they had the Braves in town. Edison Volquez had some problems with control. You know, Escobar felt it firsthand. Hit him in the ribs. He's got some words of Ramon Hernandez. Starts toward the mound. Tim Cheetah comes out, and Volquez like, what you want to do? What you want to do? Bench is clear. Situation cools down. Escobar takes his base. So Volquez still struggling with control. After 2 walks, he walks David Ross. He walks Javier Vasquez, the pitcher, who hadn't had a hit in 3 years. He hears the boos, but even the boos can't get him to throw a strike. He walks Kelly Johnson. 2-1 Braves. Run comes in. Braves still with no hits. Volquez has walked 4 straight batters. He said, I didn't know where the ball was going. Served up one for Jeff Franco. I can tell you where that one's going. Over the wall. Solo shot. 3-2 Braves. Volquez, 7 walks, 7 strikeouts, 1 hit. Braves wound up with just 4 hits in the game. Bottom 9, 2 outs. Braves bench having a good time. They're imitating their closer, Mike Gonzalez. Look at his approach. All that matters is that it gets there across the plate, though. He gets Joey Votto. Braves win it 4-3. It wasn't just Volquez. The Reds gave up 10 walks, and 3 of those walks led to runs.
You're making a list of surprise starts in the majors this season. Pittsburgh and San Diego both on it. Bottom 11, Jody Garrett. Runner on first. Gets Matt Capps foul by that much, and he's just got a grin and Garrett. Later in the inning, 2 on, 2 out. Brian Giles batting a $159 coming into this game. Chris Burke, who drew a walk, a 1-out walk, comes around to score. The Padres win it in 11, 4-3.
Plenty of runs last time the Rangers and Orioles met. That was that 1906 Ian Kinsler cycle 6-hit game. Brian Roberts, bottom of the 5th, with the Orioles up 3-1 off Vicente Padilla. Roberts' first home run of the year. Orioles up 4-1. Top 9 now. Orioles up 4-3. 2 out, 1 on. George Sherrill on to close it, but Michael Young says, close this. 2-run shot. Young's 5th of the year. Sherrill with his first blown save this season. Rangers up 5-4. Then Frank Francisco does the rest. This is the 3rd time in 5 games that Young has either tied a game or put the Rangers ahead with a 9th inning home run. Fats, the cornerstone of any nutritious diet.
Number 9, Yankees, Red Sox. This one's for Coach Hertz up there when he was coaching Jason Bay at Gonzaga. Bay also hit a big home run in this one.
Number 8, Cavaliers and Pistons. I think you know what I'm getting at here. LeBron, I mean, like Mo Williams, you just throw it up there. And it's coming back down. LeBron with 25 points.
Nationals, Mets. Don't hit it to David Wright. That's a wrong move. Right down, up, and over. Mets win it 4-3.
Number 6, boxing. Friday night fights. Danny Jacobs and Jose Varela. Man, he got knocked out. Jacobs Promising young middleweight, now 15-0 with 14 knockouts.
If I ever get hit like that, I'll never get up. Dwight Howard, 36 points, 11 rebounds. That's over Theo Ratliff. We got more from this game shortly.
Number 4, Yankees and Red Sox, Nick Swisher. The line drive over the third, Mike Lowell. What a great catch. Sox won at 5-4 and 11. Look at the reaction by Lowell.
Biggest shot ever. That's what Thaddeus Young called this. He was thinking pass, then he was thinking turnover, then he was thinking, I just won the game. 6 points. 76ers. Beat Orlando by 2.
Number 2 Cubs and Cardinals. Skip Schumacher's a bit of a utility man for the Cardinals. Sometimes he'll play second base and then play right field pretty much in the same game, out of position. But what a great catch. Back to the infield. And the Cardinals going to win it 4-3.
At number 1, now, Alexander Ovechkin. Now, remember, people at home, he's on skates. Unbelievable. Visits the red light district. He led the league in goals the past 2 seasons. He's the reigning MVP and said he got a lucky bounce. I don't think it's luck. I think it's skill.
Between the Red Sox and Yankees this season. Game 1 was a classic Friday night. This one was another dramatic meeting. Josh Beckett pitching for the Red Sox. Top of the 4th, Robinson Cano's off to a hot start this year. Jeter and Teixeira score. Yankees up 6-0. Yankees have not lost to the Red Sox when getting a lead of 6 or more runs in a game. That goes back to 1968. Bottom 4, Red Sox down 6-1. The captain, Jason Varitek, 4-run homer off A.J. Burnett. The first Red Sox grand slam by a catcher since Scott Hatteberg. Meanwhile, Jacoby Ellsbury ties it in the 5th with a home run. First of the year. Later, 2 on, 2 out. After J.D. Drew bounced into a double play, Jason Bay comes right back with a 2-run wall ball. Big hit in the game to keep the momentum going. It's 8-6 Boston. Top of the 6th, Yankees down 2-1 on. John Damon. He homers off Beckett, and we are tied at 8. Red Sox trying to win their 9th game in a row. Top of 7, Yankees down 9-8. Second and third, 2 outs. Damon, ground ball, he'll end the inning. No! Dustin Pedroia. That's fielding routine ground balls, normally good. He gets beaten 5-hole, and the Yankees lead 10-9. Bottom 7, Mike Lowell. They would have traded him in the offseason had they successfully signed Teixeira. They do not, and he helps their cause on Saturday. It's 12-10. Top of the 8th, Robinson Cano. Gone. It's now a 1-run game, 12-11 later in the 8th. 2 on, 2 outs. Brett Gardner. This time, Pedroia, the proper footwork, makes the play. Red Sox out of the inning. Bottom of the 8th. Bases loaded. There's Lowell again. 6 RBIs, most by a Red Sox player against the Yankees since Carlton Fisk in 1973. It's a 4-hour, 21-minute, 9-inning game. Mark Teixeira walked 5 times in this game, by the way. There it is, 16-11, the final score. The man of the hour, the man with the power, Mike Lowell.
First batter of the game, he wastes no time. Third time he has led off with a home run in a game, his 6th home run of the season. Rangers on the board. In the second now, Kinsler. How about going to left? He's hitting .398 all-time against the Orioles. 4 home runs in the first 3 innings for the Rangers. They go on to win 6-5.
Indians off to a slow start, 6-11, home to the Twins. That's Carl Pavano. That's Jason Kubel. He takes that changeup and launches it out of the park. 3rd of the season. First of 2 homers for Kubel in the game. Twins up 4-0. The ironic Kevin Slowey. 8 innings, 1 earned, 7 Ks. Twins, winner, chicken parm dinner, 7-1 in Ohio. Phillies. Jorge Cantu. That's a 3-run Jackson to center off Chan-Ho Park. Cantu's 3rd home run of the season, and the Marlins lead 3-2 to the 9th. Matt Lindstrom, unavailable to close. He threw 38 and blowing a save on Fridays. Ronel Pinto on the mound. Marlins up 4-3. Second and third, 1 out. Eric Bruntlett, slow roller, thrown out, but Jason Worth ties the game. Extra innings to the 10th. Logan Kensey to Chase Utley. Line drive, eats up Hanley Ramirez. Here comes Shane Victorino, the hero on Friday nights. Scores 5-4 Phillies. Bottom 10, 6-4 Phils. Here comes Brad Leach. That's a ball. 2 men on, 2 outs. Lidge didn't like it. Charlie Mayo didn't like it, and he's going to get run by Ed Montague. Perhaps trying to get a call if he needs one in the rest of this game with 2 outs in the 10th. Next batter, Cody Ross. Lidge threw a couple really nice breaking balls to start the at-bat, and there's a real good one there. And the Phillies win 6-4. The Marlins, they've lost 5 games in a row.
Pujols and the Cards hosting Sean Marshall and their bitter rivals, the Cubs. Bottom of the 4th, Brian Barden to left, scoring Yadier Molina and Khalil Green. Barden 3 for 3 and 2 RBI. Cards up 3-0. 7th inning now. Cards up 3-1. Bases loaded. David Patton has the task of facing Albert Pujols. Pujols sitting on 998 career RBI. How do you pitch to him? Just not fair. That's a grand slam. 2nd grand slam this season. 8th in his career. 441 feet. And Pujols said he hit the ball as good as he can hit a ball. Cards have won 5 straight. The final 8-2. He's going for 297 in his first game back in Arizona as a Giant. By the way, Randy 65-34 all-time at Chase Field. Bottom of the 4th, scoreless. Justin Upton on his own bobblehead day. 2-run shot to left. First home run of the year. D-backs get on the board first. Johnson leaves in the 4th inning, getting a standing ovation from the crowd. He won't win 297. 3 1/3. Had 7 walks, most since 2000. In the 5th, Randy Wynn giving the rawhide a ride. His 2nd of the year. The Giants go on the win 5-3. They have now won 5 in a row. In the face of the Astros, Jose Valverde trying to close it down for the Stros in the 9th. They score 3 runs in the 8th to take a 7-6 lead and say goodbye to that lead. Prince Fielder, 2-run shot, 2nd home run of the game. He had just 1 coming in. 8-7 Brewers. Bottom of the 9th now. Hunter Pence facing Carlos Villanueva with a runner on, and Pence to 3rd, and Hall throws the first. Fielder can't make a snag. Lance Berkman takes off and scores. We're tied at 8, going to extras. In the 11th, still 8 apiece. Ryan Braun with a runner on 2nd. Braun up the middle. Corey Hart getting the green light, heading home. Michael Bourne's throw is off target. Hart scores. Braun 4 for 6 with that RBI. The Brewers win 9-8.
Dodgers, Rockies. Ubaldo Jimenez, rough outing against the Dodgers. First inning, Rockies down 3-0. 2 on. Casey Blake to right. Russell Martin scores. Caps a 4-run inning for the Dodgers. They bat around in the 1st inning. Top of the 4th, Russell Martin off to a bit of a slow start. Just 3 RBIs in his previous 9 games, but he had 4 on Saturday. Plates Hudson and Ethier there. 6-3. Dodgers up. Garrett Atkins, 2-run homer off James McDonald. However, McDonald would get his first win of the season. Bottom 9. Ramon Troncoso gets Ian Stewart to ground out. The Dodgers have won 11 of 13. They're good, and
Anderson's not here, so I'll take number 10. Spurs and the Mavs. Off the miss, Ryan Hollins cleaning it up. Oh, the feel good. And the Mavs win by 9. They take a 3-1 series lead over the Spurs.
Number 9, Ted Williams. What a day for Mike Lowell. That defensive gem. Also had a homer, 6 RBIs. The Red Sox have won 9 games in a row. They beat the Yankees 16-11. Don't forget Sunday Night Baseball, ESPN.
Spring football, number 8, Ohio State in front of 95,000 fans. Terrell Pryor to Torian Washington. Touchdown. Pryor 13 of 18, 191 yards, 2 touchdowns.
People pay for the spring?
$5.
$5?
Yes.
$5. Nationals Mets. Look at Daniel Murphy. The catch and the throw to get Anderson Hernandez. Yeah. Mets win 8-2. Murphy's taking some heat with his defensive play early in the going.
Number 6, Hawks Heat. Jermaine O'Neal. Sweet look to Dwayne Wade. And the exclamation point. Wade with 29. The Heat up 2-1 in their series with the Hawks, 107-78.
Number 5, Blue Jays, White Sox, One Tree Hill. Aaron believes he has a base hit. Brent Woolbridge says you'll get nothing and like it. More coming from this game in Chicago. What a play by Brent.
We got more defense. Brewers, Astros. Miguel Tejada. Great backhand flip, starting the 6-4-3 double play. And then later, it's J.J. Hardy to short. Tejada smothers it, makes the longer backhand flip to get the force at second. More coming from this one.
Number 3, Ron Stackhouse. Penguins, Flyers, Tyler Kennedy. Shot is saved. Look at Mark Eaton, the pinching defenseman out of midair. The Penguins win the series 4-2.
Blue Jays, White Sox, Vernon Wells, fly ball to deep to left center. Jerry Owens has a bead, will not be denied. The White Sox go on the win 10-2, laying out with the leather.
Number 1, I was born to love you.
This one goes to center field. Michael Bourne way back. Still going. Hustling. Oh! Michael Bourne, a tremendous catch on Townsend.
Wow, I don't know if I've seen one better. That was a miraculous catch.